Salute, salute, salute. What it is, what it do, what's happening. It's Nocturnal Thoughts with a real video. A real quick video, then I'm gonna get out of the way. I was watching the weigh-in for Gervonta Tank Davis, Abdul Wahid, Servant of the One, versus Frank the Ghost Martin. And I feel like this fight has all the potential in the world to be the fight of 2024. It just has all the right components, all the right elements to be a barn burner, a firefight, a yin versus yang. And the only thing that is missing, in my opinion, is the experience level. There's a gap between the experience level of Gervonta Tank Davis versus the experience level of Frank the Ghost Martin. That's the only thing that is missing. If they both had a similar resume or similar journey that kind of met at this moment, you know what I'm saying? If you could see them on the collision course and then they was to meet at this pinnacle moment, I think that this would be a 50-50 fight. And the only thing in my mind that reduces this from being a 50-50 fight to leaning a lot more towards the Gervonta Tank Davis is the experience level. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he has the eraser. He has that one punch knockout power. I feel like Frank can knock you out with one shot. But if you have a real strong granite chin, you know, he just doesn't have that knockout power that's, you know, KOing fighters that, you know, went their whole career without ever being knocked out. So he has the ability to wear you down with the accumulation of punches, and he also has the ability to knock you out if you're not built for it tough. And you know, he has a power level that you haven't experienced, so therefore he can knock you out just based on his competitor. But Tank has shown to have a granite chin. You know, he's taken big punches. He's taken punches from guys, you know, under the bright lights with more size than him. There has been a rehydration clause that, you know, kind of questions his victory over Mario Barrios and maybe possibly questions his victory over Kid Flash, Ryan Garcia. But at the end of the day, you really just can't deny the power that he has in his hands, knocking people out with that uppercut like he did Leo Santa Cruz, or knocking out, or technically knocking out, or making Hector Garcia, you know, quit in the corner. So when I look at all of the competitors that Gervonta Tank Davis has faced on his journey, on his career, and then I look at who's Frank Martin's competitors, the only big win that I can think of is against that Michel Rivera, the guy that was being compared to Muhammad Ali type of character style, or character features, and he was kind of on a tear. He was getting some momentum behind him, and when he ran into Frank Martin, I think he was the favorite, and he was completely outclassed. And on top of that, Michel Rivera ended up failing a performance enhancing test, a drug test. After the fight, it was found to be that, you know, he wasn't even fighting 100% clean. He had an enhancement in his system. So that lets you know that you come in the ring with Frank Martin, even your A game enhanced might not be enough. So I feel like he will test Gervonta Tank Davis. I think he will push different buttons on Gervonta Tank Davis. Man, you in a rush to go nowhere, man. I think he will push some buttons on Gervonta Tank Davis, but I feel like it's like Coach Calvin Ford said. I think that you haven't really seen the absolute best of Gervonta Tank Davis, and Frank probably will bring out another version, a better version of Gervonta Tank Davis that we still haven't seen yet, that has yet to be seen, and then that's going to just, you know, elevate him to a higher level, because you need those competitors, you need those rivals, you need those guys that are able to max you out, that'll push you to your limits, and to make you go into your repertoire, make you go into, you know, your arsenal, and pull out some things that all spectators, you know, haven't had the privy to actually witness you use, so they don't know. And on the flip side of that, I still feel like Frank Martin does have a very narrow path of victory, being that Frank is in excellent shape, tip-top shape, mind is sharp, he hasn't lost, and Gervonta Tank Davis hasn't been just very active like he was before he fought Ryan Garcia. He got that tune-up fight with Hector Garcia. I feel like he's been out of the ring for a while. He's in phenomenal shape, Gervonta Tank Davis, that is. He's in phenomenal shape, but I still feel like there is a slight possibility that he won't be as accurate at the beginning of the fight once, you know, if he doesn't get the rhythm and the timing established, and Frank Martin is able to come in and rack up the early rounds and outbox Tank, and he can take that power shot without being KO'd. There is a slight, very narrow path of victory that Frank Martin can pull this thing out. And, you know, I still, you know, root for the underdog to be victorious, but I won't deny the obvious that Gervonta Tank Davis, I have to lean towards him. And I would say probably, you know, just dog versus dog. You know, I feel like Gervonta Tank Davis, at the end of the day, I think once he does get the timing down, once he does establish the rhythm, once he you know, downloads the data, and once he calculates a few, you know, counter punches, that's, you know, inevitable for him to land some big shots. And by the 9th round, I think we would see Gervonta Tank Davis land that kill shot by the 9th round and get a stoppage against Frank. But also, I could see this fight going the distance and Gervonta Tank Davis winning by, you know, a couple of rounds. But I could also see, like, option C, my third prediction would be Frank Martin, you know, pulling out a very controversial victory at the end. If he's able to score some early, if he's able to get in and get in some early rounds, and then and survive and be defensive and have the fight of his life. If he has the fight of his life, you don't cheat him, you don't rob him, you can't deny him his victory, then I feel like, you know, we be just crowning a new king at 135. He has shocked the world. He'll do a rematch, and then it is what it is from that point. But my first prediction, you know what I'm saying, to stick with my first prediction, my first thought, how I will kind of see this thing naturally going, is a very competitive fight, a very entertaining fight, a very explosive fight, a pit bull fight, and then by the 9th round, I think it'll come to the end with Frank Martin probably being stopped. those are my thoughts, and y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments in the below section. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and sub up and let me know what you think. I salute y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Bless up. Bow.